Hey everyone, welcome to Books with AR. If you love getting lost in powerful stories and beautiful worlds, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into Renegade Immortal, Chapter 3, a story of courage, loss, and the pursuit of immortality. Let's begin the journey together. Chapter 3, Test. Wang Zhuo was dazed by the scene before him. It took a long time for him to recover his senses, and the amount of arrogance in his heart had shrunk. At that moment, several rainbow-colored swords flew toward them. For each sword that dissipated, there was a Heng Yue Sect disciple, each followed by several 15-year-olds. There were both male and female youths. As they landed, they too had similar expressions as Wang Lin's group as they stared at the scene in front of them, with different expressions. All of the Heng Yue Sect disciples that brought the youths gathered at the side and started talking about the youths. After waiting for a while, all the other youths who had been recommended arrived at the sect. A black-clad middle-aged man scanned the area. He emotionlessly said, "Among the lot of you, only a few will be selected to be Heng Yue Sect disciples." All of the youths cried out in shock. Wang Lin's heart shuddered. He counted a total of 48 people taking the test. Cultivation, the path to becoming an immortal, depends on your natural talent. The first test is to see whether or not your spirit is strong enough. Now, whoever I point to will come up and take the test. The middle-aged man emotionlessly pointed at a youth. The youth's legs trembled. He walked over carefully. The middle-aged man put his hand on his head and said, "Not qualified. Stand to the left." The youth suddenly lost all strength. Face looking bleak and eyes blank, he moved to the left in silence. Then another youth was pointed at. He moved forward with a fearful expression. "Not qualified. Not qualified. Not qualified." 10 people in a row all failed the test. Up until now, there was still no one to the right of the middle-aged man. It was Wang Zhuo's turn. All his previous pride had disappeared from his face. Looking pale, he stepped forward. After the middle-aged man put his hand on Wang Zhuo, his face suddenly lit up and asked, "What is your name?" Wang Zhuo quickly replied respectfully, "Immortal Hui Bing. My name is Wang Zhuo." The middle-aged man nodded. He smiled and said, "So, you are the one martial teacher mentioned. Good. Wang Zhuo, stand to the right." Wang Zhuo felt exultation and walked toward the right under the aberration of everyone. His eyes were filled with arrogance and contempt as he looked at the crowd. He felt untouchable. "Motherfucker, he is one lucky dog," Wang Hao murmured to Wang Lin while curling his lip. Wang Lin's heart became more tense. In front of his eyes rose his parents' eyes, filled with expectations. He tightened his fists. "Not bad. You also stand to the right," said the middle-aged man, surprised to the young girl in front of him. After a short period of time, almost all the youths had been tested, and only 2 stood to the right of the middle-aged man. Wang Hao was up next. Wang Hao quickly ran up to the middle-aged man. Before he could even start the test, he knelt to the ground and kowtowed a few times. He said, "Immortal Hui Bing, may you enjoy a long life. My name is Wang Hao. You already tested so many people. You must be tired. Why don't you rest for a while? I'm in no rush. It's no problem." The middle-aged man laughed out loud, testing so many people whose faces were filled with fear, yet this clever youth here, without the slightest bit of fear, was trying to win favor with him. He pressed his hand on Wang Hao's head and said, "Spirit is lacking, not." The moment he heard his spirit was lacking, his heart plummeted. Without waiting for the middle-aged man to finish, he quickly pulled out a jade box and presented it in front of him. Wang Hao wisely said, "Immortal Hui Bing, my father found this by accident in the mountain, but was unable to open it. I especially brought it to give to Immortal Hui Bing." The middle-aged man chuckled as he shook his head. He was about to refuse Wang Hao, but as he scanned the box, his pupils suddenly contracted. His face suddenly lit up. "Not bad. This is at least a 300-year-old mushroom. Looking at the jade box, it was sealed by a cultivator. No wonder your father couldn't open it. He paused and then said with a slightly faltering voice, I'm in need for a helper for my pill concubation. Are you willing to be my helper? Wang Hao, surprised, got up quickly. The difference in treatment was like heaven and earth, causing him to be very excited. He exclaimed, Yes, Immortal Hui Bing, I am willing. The middle-aged man said while chuckling, Being my helper, I won't mistreat you. You can cultivate just like the other disciples. Go stand to the right. Wang Hao was very excited in his heart. He ran to the right and faced Wang Zhuo with a triumphant stare. The faces of all the youths that failed turned pale. All of them felt very depressed. A few even started crying. The middle-aged man frowned. He shouted, Send away all those who started crying. A few of the Heng Yue Sect disciples stepped out. They quickly took the ones that started crying and casually disappeared in swords of light. The middle-aged man pointed at Wang Lin. Wang Lin took a deep breath. He nervously walked toward the side of the middle-aged man. His mind was completely blank. Praying silently in his heart, he couldn't help but remember the expectations in his parents' eyes. I will definitely be selected, Wang Lin thought with determination. The middle-aged man's hand pressed on his head, and with a deadpan face he said the two words Wang Lin dreaded the most. Not qualified. Wang Lin didn't remember how he had made it to the left side. He only heard the spring thunder roaring in his ears and echoing the two words the middle-aged man had said. After a moment, everyone had been tested, and only 3 stood to the right. In the eyes of everyone else, the 3 were insurmountable and immensely tall. Wang Zhuo looked at Wang Lin with a face full of contempt, fully expressing his disdain for him. While a strong spirit is needed in order to be a cultivator, perseverance is even more important. Even ordinary students like you, with enough perseverance, can become a sect disciple. The second test is perseverance. The middle-aged man paused, then said with a deadpan face, Follow the steps up. If you reach the top, you are qualified. If you're not finished within 3 days, you fail. Those who fail will be returned to their families. If you cannot endure any longer or meet danger, just yell out loud and someone will come and save you. The middle-aged man smiled to the 3 on his right and said, You 2 follow me to meet the patriarch. We will also find you masters. Wang Hao, you don't need to go. Come with me to the pill house so you can get used to the place. After the middle-aged man finished giving instructions, he took the 3 selected youths and disappeared into the mountains. Wang Lin took a deep breath. His eyes were full of determination. He walked up the stair steps without hesitation and started the test of perseverance. Aside from the 3 selected youths and the 6 crying youths who were taken away, 39 remained. Among these 39 youths, the ones that were very depressed, the ones very determined, and the ones who were scared all walked toward their own future. Another step on the path to immortality comes to an end, but the story continues. Subscribe to Books with AR and join the journey through worlds of courage, fate, and imagination. Until our next chapter, stay curious and keep exploring the power of stories.